Calling this special meeting of the Planning Commission to order. First item tonight is the approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any questions? If not, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. First item is a public hearing. Brian Buchanan has filed for a waiver from the York County Land Development Code to remove the internal access requirement for a major subdivision. The property is a 2-acre parcel located in the Rural Development District, Council District 2, Council District 3, Atkins, case number W2501.
Go through the waiver here. There's going to be some.
This is a public hearing?
This is a
Yes.
public hearing, so yeah, so,
Open the public hearing.
what was that?
Just make a motion to open the public hearing?
Oh,
Or just
yeah.
open the public hearing?
Yeah, we'll make a motion to open the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. Sorry.
That's all right. So there are, meeting tonight, the two things that I have is a waiver for a preliminary plat. So there's going to be some repetitive information. Luckily, it's pretty simple information, so we'll go through it here. The first thing we have is the waiver request. They are requesting a waiver from the Land Development Manual Codes requirement for an internal access road for major subdivisions. So we'll go through the waiver summary here. They wish to waive the major subdivision requirement of an internal access road because they're creating one additional 2-acre parcel from the parent parcel. The history of the parent parcel, the previous owner divided off probably about 10 lots in the last 15 years. Piano keys, you'll see them on the picture of the map there. So any future division was deemed a major subdivision under the major minor rules. Major subdivisions require internal access. You cannot access directly onto existing roads. So the proposed lot is 2 acres in size and is RUD, otherwise conforming with frontage on Ranger Road, and it's just the one lot out of the parent parcel. Here's the picture here. Here are the aerials. You can see it was the golf course you were talking about. That did not actually get opened. And you can see the piano keys down on the bottom there. Give me a little laser. Right there. Those piano keys are kind of what messed everything up for the future on that one. So you have seen this property before. They had to come in and rezone. They were split zoned. So they got that taken care of. They submitted for their preliminary plat, and that's when we started the waiver process for the internal road standard. Go through the zoning here. RUD1, where the piano keys down there. Kings Mountain is right across the street up there. And I took a big sniff of the map. It was a very open plat on it. So it's just the one lot. You did not get the new one.
Oh.
I had it circled.
Oh, okay, I didn't, can you go back one,
Yes, sir.
see where where is the 2 acre there?
It is, I don't like this thing,
Right where the word ranger is?
right there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And on the preliminary, on the plat here, you can kind of see there's like a little star right there. I had it circled, but I did it too late for her to update the plat. So this is the 2-acre lot. It has an existing driveway onto Ranger Road. I did the measurement. It's about 100. The next driveway is directly to the north, and it's about 160 feet away. So it meets county standards for separation. Go through the findings here. There's only 2 findings for waivers. Applicant can show that a provision of these regulations would cause unnecessary hardship because of topographical or other conditions peculiar to the site. So the creation of an internal road to create a single lot with adequate width on an existing road exceeds the intent of the major minor subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff finds proposed waiver meets this criteria. And then the second one, the Planning Commission finds that departure may be made without defeating the intent of the provision of this chapter. The purpose of the major residential driveway access limitation is to control the volume of driveways onto thoroughfares in York County. Due to most major subdivisions being 7 or more lots created at the same time, internal access is an important traffic calming measure from the code. A single lot created for a residence does not require the same restraint as a larger development. Therefore, staff finds the proposed waiver meets this criterion. So staff recommends approval for the waiver. I'll go back to the bigger picture here. Do you have any questions? We also have the applicant is here tonight.
Yeah, so as it's a public hearing, the applicant, you are allowed to come up and speak if you have anything you'd like to add at this time. If not, you do not have to speak, it's not a requirement, but it is your right during the public hearing.
I think she covered it very well.
Okay.
And he is available for questions.
So any other
Clarification
questions?
for
Okay.
me. So
Yep.
we're talking about everything that's within the red border and taking a chunk out of it?
Yes.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay. Similar to what you referred to as the Pecan Keys down there. So we're having
Yeah.
another lot that's gonna come out of this chunk and be on Ranger Road.
Right. And it's gonna be just south of the RUD1
RUD1.
chunk there, so it's gonna blend right in with the other.
So what is the rest of that, all that big area?
That is 220 acres of, what's going to be a
Almost
golf
golf
course, but it was sold to the current owner, and he's currently using it as his property. No neighbors.
Absolutely.
So the major subdivision could be on that big 200 and whatever.
Right, that's,
Because of the piano keys.
yeah.
Were the piano keys all approved at the same time, or was that
No.
piecemeal?
It was done under a previous version of the code where they were able to do it little piece by little
Okay.
piece as an extension.
I think they did 3 at a time,
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
keeping it small.
Could that continue the piano keys? Okay.
You'd have to, if he wanted to do this again, he'd have to come back for another waiver. So it'd be, each time would have to be a waiver for the driveway.
Except the fact of the current, there's a section being reviewed right now by council, you saw it last month, for one subdivisions. That would actually take away this requirement here. So in the future,
Because it
because it
predates.
predates that, this is from 2010, 11. And so anything beyond this one, they'll be able to do, if council approves the ordinance as written, they'll be able to go forward and subdivide without having to come back for a waiver.
He could get 5 more lots out if they, change the deadline. Because all the other lots were, well, actually be 4 more lots, because there's one up by the corner that came out after the deadline. But, it would still extremely limit.
All right, does anybody else have any questions? All right, if there's nothing else, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor of closing the public hearing? All right, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the waiver.
A second.
All right, is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right. New business subdivision Buchanan Ranger Road, applicants Brian and Dorothy Buchanan, tax map number 18000000015, total acreage 221.84 acres, total lots 2, single family lots, council district 3, Tommy Atkins, and zoning district is rural development.
Got the preliminary plat here. You've probably seen this image recently. This is the vicinity map of the area, the zoning map of the area, and then the preliminary plat for the 2-acre lot. I did our little chart there. It's the 2 lots. Acreage is actually almost 222 acres total for the parent parcel after the piano keys. Go through the findings here. Willingness and capability is private water and septic, so they will, it's indicated on the proposed plat. Since the lot is 2 acres in size, it meets the threshold to not have to have a septic permit before the lot is divided off. 1.99, they need a septic permit. 2 acres, they do not. but it still meets the standards for RUD. Proposed land use and density complies with the zoning district. Single-family residential is an allowed use. The maximum density in RUD is 1 dwelling unit per acre. We're at the thousandths, the 0.009 dwelling units per acre for the 221. The 2 acre lot itself would be 0.5 dwelling units per acre. Applicant agrees to adequately mitigate the impacts to transportation network. TIA was not required for this division. Even if you include the previous piano keys, it's still too far. It does not meet the threshold. Development provides adequate street connectivity and pedestrian facilities. It's accessed from Ranger Road, the new lot is. There's also several frontages on Ranger Road of the parent parcel and along Highway 55, which is maintained by the SCDOT. Sidewalks are not required due to the low density of the project. And open space and buffers, it's zoned RUD. It's not required as part of the development, and nor is it provided. A tree survey and tree safe area has been completed and accepted by staff, which is the final requirement. So staff recommends approval of the preliminary plat. Any questions for staff?
Any questions for Marion?
Is the tree save area denoted? I mean, I see the square footage right there, but
It's north of the fence. So there's a little fence that goes along. It's a little bit busy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's a fence
It's
right
that area above.
Driveway.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the
Okay.
details,
On that
yeah, I just wanted to see if it was, yeah.
Mr. Baird made a very spacious preliminary plat.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor of the motion? All right, it is unanimous. No other matters. Is there a motion to adjourn?
No.
No? Oh, I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, the,
Did you get the updated version of it?
No?
no, I
Didn't you mind?
emailed them out Tuesday.
Yeah, we did not
I'm
give you
sorry.
hard copies of the updated version, but there was one that was being mailed out.
Yes.
Never
I-
posted that out.
I know, and I forgot to print one for myself.
No, I've got it on here.
Yeah,
Updated version.
she brought these
I kept
Monday,
thinking this
and then
was-
I saw the email Tuesday, but I was already gone, so. I
I'm
didn't
saying, I
print it.
didn't pay attention.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
it's no big deal.
rural
With,
zoning project status update.
There you go.
Yes.
So as you're aware, we've started a project with a planning and zoning committee called the Rural Zoning Project. And I just wanted to kind of give you all an update of where we stand with that. In January, we mobilized staff, we assigned topics and things we were required to research. We've got, I think, 10 of us that are working on this project within the zoning and planning staff, so putting lots of effort to it. The Planning and Zoning Committee had a meeting last week, it was, and there's a link there if you want to go and watch it. I recommend you watch the P&Z meeting. Very informative meeting. We went over probably 10 different topics, including setbacks and what the different districts are, the history of them, where we're at right now, how we got there. I think a very informative presentation that I think you all would benefit if you went back and watched it. Just watch that first part of it. So we reviewed the scope of the elements, within each scope. You also would have received a survey. I think you have. Some of you have already taken it. Thank you for those who have already taken the survey. Appreciate that. If you could please get that done by the end of the week. Did anybody not get a survey? There should have been an email, SurveyMonkey, to your address. If you did not get an email, let me know. We'll make sure. One of them bounced. I don't know which one it was, but somebody did bounce. It was emailed out, what's that?
When was it?
Tuesday of last week at 8 o'clock. You'll be getting another reminder going out, I think, 8 o'clock today. So if you don't get it, or if you don't have it in your mailbox, let me know, and we can get that resent to you. That's kind of really helpful to be able to understand where the Planning Commission and Council is in terms of the rural zonings. So going forward, we'll be with the P&Z committee in March. review the survey, give them the results, and then we will do what we call the code comparisons. You've seen this before in any kind of text amendments, where we actually look at 10 jurisdictions, probably just, I think, 6 for just doing counties for this one here, and give you a comparison of where we are on all these different topics. And then we'll compare that with the committee, and then we'll give them suggested text amendments. And so we'll have some ideas based upon whatever the comments were, to get them thinking about how we might amend the code to be able to reflect the goals of the survey. And then in March and April, staff will come back and we'll start drafting texts, and then come back to the P&Z committee in May with staff reports, and go back to recommendations. Then it'll go to the full council. And then this summer, we'll come back to the planning commission to make any changes or recommendations for text amendments.
Okay.
Just wanted to give you all a review of the process.
So what do you think the general flow that's gonna be, like, is there gonna be, is it just maybe one district, or are you gonna have?
Like one zoning district?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that the intent is to have something between RUD and AGC.
We don't know what the answer is yet, so I think we want to get all the survey results first before we have some ideas. But we don't want to actually voice anything until we hear what everybody says, and then we can start working upon that. So it can go many different ways, whether it's consolidation, whether it's expansion, we don't know yet. So we have the 4 main rural districts, the 2 AGC, RUD, and ones as well. Plus we have the rural commercial and the rural industrial, looking at that just a little bit, but focusing more on the residential part of it. So I really don't know which way it's gonna go. I don't want to say anything until we hear from everybody first.
Is council getting the same, do they have to do the survey? Or
Yes,
is this-
so the
okay.
survey went to all council members and all planning commission members. And so we should get comments back from 14 different people to kind of see what their thoughts are. And then, the P&Z committee, we work through them. And then once we're ready to go ahead, once we get there, okay, this is going in the right direction, then we'll start drafting text amendments and bring it back to you all.
Remind me again, what was the general gist of why all this started? Was it just complaints?
Multiple reasons, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons. I think this all sort of came through with a lot of the AGC to RUD rezoning requests. I think that's really what made it bring to the fore. And then there's been some issues with maybe some code changes required for how we deal with agricultural. I think the main thing is the AGC to RUD rezonings. And to figure out a way, if there's the code, that any changes been made to it that requires us to come forward more frequently, just kind of get an overview of what that is.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Is there any other items I didn't?
Nope, that's it, that was the other thing.
All right.
Yeah.
If there's nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Meeting is adjourned.